everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Daily Distinction. I can tell by looking the internet gremlins are at work today. I had a coaching call earlier today, and the gremlins caught up with me. So apologies for that. I'm doing everything I can. We have a technician coming here sometime between noon and 5 today. So I am working on it. Oh man. Well, Brian, that's part of what I want to talk about today. So I can't really tell if this is coming through. It's lagging way behind as I look at my monitor here, so I don't know how well this is coming through for you. Let's see. Is there anything that I can do? Boy, where is Ken Walls when I need him here in terms of all of this? Let's see here. General, maybe if I reduce the you can't do it during the broadcast. All right. I was going to reduce the file quality. So anyway, post, let me know how it's coming across here. But things to talk about in terms of Darcy, I appreciate it. Here's what I wanted to let you know today, and there are some good things that's going to be happening for. Well, now my whole thing's frozen up here. All right, if you can hear me, I'm gonna sign off and I'm gonna come back on. Okay, I'm gonna sign off, come back on, see if that helps us. You can hear? I'm back. There we go. Okay. Are we on? Looks that way. Looks like there's folks watching. So the web, I do this on a Chrome browser. That's what you have to use for StreamYard, and the browser froze. So I'm trying to figure out how I reduce the quality of it, because we're at high def 1080p, and I think the size of that. So was on here time, went away, coming through. All right. Well, anyway, Darcy, thank you for your kind comment. I appreciate that so much. Charles, always great having you here. Thank you for being here so much. Okay, so we've got some changes going on, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but a family member was injured in an accident earlier this week. And it is not a life-threatening thing, but it's a very concerning thing. And because of that, and medical appointments coming up on Wednesday, the Distinctive Story program, you can imagine there's a couple things. One is my sister Shelly, that does all the work online and everything there, is helping with this person. And so therefore, can't get all of the things done that have to be done in the background to make the program happen, that was going to be done yesterday and today. Secondly, as you can imagine, I don't want to be doing a program that you folks are investing in, and me looking every couple of minutes to check my phone to see what's going on. It's just a very thankfully it is not a life-threatening situation, but it is a challenging situation. And so we are gonna do what's right by family first, as it would be what I would advise if anybody asked me to do. So I got to walk the talk. So I'm gonna make certain that I'm available for family, and also that we deliver everything that we have promised and more. So the Distinctive Story program is moved to January 27th. And it'll be bigger and better than ever, I promise. And for those of you that signed up for that, I do appreciate your understanding. If you haven't signed up yet, it does mean you have extra time to do so. You can do it after the first of the year, and if you it's one of those things. This is not tax advice, but if you've bought a ticket already this year, you can deduct it on this year's taxes, and if you wait till next year, why, you can use your resources there, and it gives you a little bit of extra time after Christmas. So that's not the reason that we're doing it, but it is one of those things, and in this challenging time and in this challenging year, it's what we're going to do. So the Distinctive Story program is moved, and the changes have been made, at least on the site, to advance the date for that. So you can check that out. All right. So because of that, I'm going to do some day. I'm not going to be able to do it every day, but I am going to do some daily distinctions in January that we hadn't planned on. And so if you haven't done it yet, one of the things I'd like for you to do, so that you'll know when it's going to happen, is to go to Daily Distinction, right? This is the Daily Distinction site on Facebook. And when you go to the Daily Distinction site, if you haven't already done so, all you need to do is click here where the 3 blue dots are, okay? And when you click where the 3 blue dots are, you can go to Follow Settings, okay? After you go to Follow Settings, you go here to Notifications. And you can choose, for example, do you want to be notified when the posts come in? Or even more importantly, you can go over here to Follow Settings and Notifications and Live Video, and make certain that you click all notifications, and therefore it will notify you every time that I'm doing a daily distinction. So if you haven't done that already, please do that. You can do that on the Daily Distinction page. It will take care of that for you there. And I cannot wait for the technician to get here, because my browser has frozen again. It is freezing in the browser, which is crazy. Anyway, that's what you can do with Daily Distinction to make certain that you get notified. And I'm going to reboot the browser here, so don't go away, because we'll force quit this, and I'll be right back. Hey, I'm on here twice. Now I'm not on at all. Remove. There we go. I've never had the browser freeze on me like this. Chrome, yeah, thanks, Randall. Is the voice coming through? What's happening is the browser is freezing on my computer, and I can't tell if you're sick, because I can't see it won't even show the comments. So, Randall, I appreciate you saying that. All right. So, hey, here's one of the things I was going to talk about today, and we'll figure this out. Like I said, the technician is going to get here. How they give you they'll be here anytime between noon and 5 o'clock my time, which is now or sometime in the next 5 hours. What's your attitude about the coming year? I think for a lot of us, this has been a difficult year. I saw this on a meme today. Does it bother anybody that next year is pronounced 2021? That was pretty good. 2021. Yes, it certainly did for many of us. Look, at the end of the day, what we have talked about so much in Daily Distinction over the time that I've been doing this since March, what we talked about so much is the old line Zig Ziglar used to say a lot, that your attitude determines your altitude. So in other words, the perspective that we bring into something really is going to drive how we respond and how we feel and what we do. And so one of the things that we have to consider is, what is our attitude about the coming year, because that's going to determine our altitude. Now, one of the things I want to devote one of the future daily distinctions to is about how we begin the year with our planning. And I think these last couple of days, the first couple of days in the new year, particularly because of when it falls during the week, is the perfect time for you to think about what it's going to be for you in the coming year. It's the perfect time to be thinking about that. But here's the point. Don't make New Year's resolutions. They're totally ineffective. They're totally ineffective. Here, I'll ask you this. What was your New Year's resolution this time a year ago? I will bet for you that many of us don't even remember what it was, or the New Year's resolution last year might be the same as this coming year. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, make more money. I'm going to, whatever it might be. And there are fine things that we think about, it's the old cliche, but it's so true. It'll be different to some degree because of the COVID time that we're living in. But people that regularly go to the gym take the first couple of weeks of January off because that's when everybody buys their membership and shows up, and they work out for 2 weeks and they get sore and they quit. And in fact, I've spoken for one of the major health club gym membership companies, and that's where a lot of them make their money, right? I mean, if they had to have enough machines for everybody that was a member, they would have to spend exponentially more than they do. But they don't, because they know people will buy a membership because it's New Year's resolution and not show up. And then the membership would be up for renewal. And guess what? People go, this is the year. This is the year that I'm going to do it. And then they just repeat the same bad behavior. Hey, Mike, always great to see you. Glad you were here today. Happy New Year to you as well. Alan, so good to see you. Yeah, multiplicity. It's so true. Brian, been trained that resolutions imply something is wrong. No wonder they don't last. Yeah, it's coming from the negative in a way, too. And here's the problem. With so many New Year's resolutions, they're generic, right? I mean, I set a New Year's resolution, lose weight. And I didn't lose any weight that year. Now, if, into your point, Brian, which is a great one, it says something's wrong. Yeah. And so as opposed to get healthy, and here is how I define health, right? In other words, the more specific I can make it, the greater the chance I will take specific actions to achieve it. Some of the coaching calls that I do are with people who are writing a book, and I've written several of them, and I love helping people through that process, in part because I relate to how difficult it is. And one of the authors I was talking to here recently was talking about how she was just ready to blow everything up, and I'm like, yeah, I feel that way on every book, even after 8 of them, right? It's part of the process. And it gets back to what Stephen King said, is writers write. Right. Wannabe writers talk about the book they'd someday like to write and they never get around to. But as simplistic as it sounds, writers write. It's the seat of your pants in the seat of the chair with your laptop. You write. Okay, now that doesn't sound real profound, and that's part of the problem. Is we look for that silver bullet, that one little thing that's going to fix it, that one little that hack. We hear that a lot too. Here's a life hack. Here's a business hack. Man, there's no hack. You put the seat of your pants in the seat of the chair, and you write. So the thing that changes would-be authors into authors is not a resolution. This is the year I'll write my book. It's being more specific and saying, I'm going to write 2 pages a day every day, and holding yourself to that. That's where it gets to. Yeah, the power of consistency, no matter what it is. Yeah, absolutely, Brian. And there's the thing. If you get up tomorrow and write 2 pages and then quit, you don't have a book, you got a pamphlet. So you're not an author. You're a copywriter or something at that point. But the more specific you can make it. So what I want to encourage you to do, and we'll talk more about this in the specifics of it, because there is almost a science to it, is that I don't want you to think in terms of resolutions. because we often tend to and Brian got that right too about often part of resolving that bad behavior. I resolve that I'm not going to get drunk after I get really hammered on New Year's Eve. It's kind of resolving a bad behavioral situation. That's not real motivating sometimes. So don't focus as much on the resolution as you do on the specific action steps that you're going to commit to do in 2021 that you didn't do in 2020. Necessity is the mother of invention. Ken and Glenn and I talked a lot about that this past Sunday night, and that many of the things that, Daily Distinction was created out of a challenging situation. So, the resolution may point at what's wrong. Your 2021 goal is going to fix what's wrong, or it's going to take where you are to where you want to be. And those are really, really critical aspects. Hey, Bonnie, it's always great to see you, and Happy New Year to you. Tim, same here. Always great seeing you, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. So that's the news I wanted to bring to you today on Daily Distinction. And the first part of that news is, of course, the changes. And I'm going to be popping up with some Daily Distinctions in the month of January until we do the Distinctive Story program. So please go online and make certain that you've signed up for the alerts on Facebook, whether you get this on my personal page or on the business page, which talks about Iconic the book, or on the Daily Distinction page. By the way, if you haven't joined the Daily Distinction page, please do. I'd love for you to join it, because we'll maintain that and keep that up. Also, I'm not going to tell you what they are until everything is in place, but got a huge announcement that's going to be coming in January that I think for those of you that have watched this and participated in that, you're going to like it. So we're going to talk about that after the first of the year. And because of a family health situation, the Distinctive Story program has moved to January 27th. Hope to see you there. Just go to distinctivestory.com. That has been updated, and you'll be able to see all about what's going on there. I'd love to have you be a part of that Distinctive Story thing. I'm so excited about where that's going to go and what that's going to do. Scott, Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. I really appreciate you being here. So that's the news for today and Daily Distinction. I'm going to jump on here again before the new year. So with everything going on medically with family members tomorrow, I'm not certain if I'm going to be able to or not. If I can, I will. And if you sign up for the alert, it'll tell you. But hey, let's meet here on New Year's Eve, for one final one. So thank you for being here. Please know how much I have appreciated it. Charles, same to you. Happy New Year to you as well. It's always great connecting with you, my friend. I'm so grateful for your friendship and for your support. And just know that throughout a challenging year, this and you folks being here has been beyond my ability to describe. Really, really appreciate it. So I will check in with you for certain on New Year's Eve, maybe tomorrow, depending on how things go. And I will catch up with you very soon. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year if I don't see you then. And thank you for being a part of Daily Distinction.